finals for competition eliminator between Chico Brasini and Charlie Smith. And Charlie Smith got off to a bad start. Chico Brasini is out in front. Charlie Smith is gaining, but I don't believe he's going to have enough time. And the winner is Chico Brasini with a speed of 145.63 miles per hour and a lapse time of 9.67. His wife is hilarious over that victory. A tremendous upset as last year's world champion Charlie Smith has been defeated. There's his boy and his dog, and they're all happy. So the winner is Chico Brasini. Many of you have asked for more information about the ABC Wide World of Sports book. Here's Bob Rieger to tell you all about it.
Hello, I'm Robert Rieger. 1964 was a great Olympic year in sports. I traveled over 100,000 miles making drawings and photographs on ABC's Wide World of Sports, from the Winter Olympics in January to the AFL Championship game in December. I know that the thousands of viewers who have written in for copies of these pictures will be happy to know they're all in our big new book that's ready now. It's called ABC Wide World of Sports. Over 250 pages, close to 400 photographs and drawings featuring Innsbruck and the Summer Olympic trials and the best of ABC's Wide World of Sports shows. Beautifully reproduced and ideal for study by young athletes, along with a text by our staff of experts. For your copy, send $2, check or money order, which includes handling and mailing, to Sports Programs Incorporated, P.O. Box 17, Brooklyn 1, New York. Make checks or money orders payable to Sports Programs Incorporated, and the address again, P.O. Box 17, Brooklyn 1, New York. This offer not available in Canada, and please allow 3 weeks for delivery. And join us in the weeks to come for more excitement on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
We're now going to watch one of the most interesting classes of all in drag racing, the Top Fuel Eliminator class. This is the special dragster, the one that is built specifically to accelerate over the quarter-mile distance. Cars developing horsepower of more than 1,200, and cars that can exceed 200 miles an hour at the end of a quarter mile. They literally explode at the starting line and zip through that quarter mile in 8 seconds or less. It should be very exciting, and I see that the first race is about to get underway. This race matches Jim Warren of Bakersfield, California, against Don Prudhomme of Granada Hills, California. And that is Warren. Prudhomme is driving the Hawaiian, a car owned by a family in Hawaii, the Leong. Now they must not leave that line before the green light has flashed. They get a 5-second warning, and in a 1-second interval, the lights go down to the green light, and Warren has fouled. Jim Warren has fouled. Don Prudhomme will automatically be the winner. Warren is leading, but he is disqualified, and the winner is Don Prudhomme with a speed of 175.78 miles per hour. Here's Big Daddy Don Garlits, the most famous name in drag racing. One-time top eliminator, has probably won more drag races than any man alive. Bill Alexander will be his opponent. Garlits hails from Tampa, Florida, and Wild Bill Alexander will be racing against him. They're lined up and ready to go, and Garlits has fouled. A tremendous upset here at Pomona, California, as Don Garlits, who had turned 206 miles an hour in a preliminary run, has fouled, and Bill Alexander is the winner. Alexander is taking his time, knowing that he has the victory, and Don Garlits has been eliminated. Well, that is a tremendous surprise. The next race is a rather interesting one. Connie Kalita, one of the all-time great dragsters, in number 24, racing against Art Malone, who is a veteran of the Indianapolis Speedway. Malone gained his experience drag racing, then carried that experience onto the Speedway, where he was able to qualify for the Indianapolis 500-mile race. And this should be a good race. Connie Kalita of Mount Clemens, Michigan, and Art Malone of Lutz, Florida. Malone on the far side, Kalita on the near side. That's Malone. They're away. They got off together. Good start. Heading for the finish line. Kalita is the leader, and Connie Kalita is the winner with a speed of 190.26 miles per hour, just barely edging out Art Malone. And so, Connie Kalita will move into the third round. That next race was Danny Ungaias and Rick Stewart, and Ungaias fouled, so Rick Stewart is the winner and will move ahead. The big moment is arriving for Connie Kalita from Mount Clemens, Michigan, one of the nation's top drag racers, and a man who has achieved a speed of better than 200 miles an hour here in practice. Connie, I see this is your car, the Bounty Hunter. Let's talk about it and explain some of the more important features. What about these big wheels? Why do you use such big wheels on the rear?
The reason for this is, Chuck, is to put as many square inches of rubber area on the surface at one time to accommodate the horsepower of the engine.
To get as much traction as possible. What is the size of the tread of this tire?
The face of that tire is a full 11 inches wide.
And that's a lot of tire. Now, what about the engine?
This engine is a new overhead cam Ford engine developed by Ford Motor Car Company, and it's been leased to me to run experimentation tests on it. When you put a supercharger on an engine like this, which is sitting on top, and run nitromethane, it's pretty hard on things, and it really shows the stresses and strains real quick.
Now, we've taken the cover off the right side so they can see the inner workings. What are we looking at there?
You're looking at the camshaft and the rocker arm assemblies for the valve train.
Very complex engine. How much horsepower will it produce?
It's pretty hard, but I would say it's making over 1,500 horsepower real easy.
Wow. Now, I'm struck by the very small wheels in front. Why do you use such small wheels?
The reason for this is, Chuck, we don't need weight up there, so we make a small, light tire. We need less wind resistance, therefore we use a small tire also. And 3, it's less rolling resistance.
What would you say this car is worth?
I've got about $10,000 sitting there, Chuck.
And that's not counting the engine.
No, it's not.
Well, good luck to you, Connie. I know that you're anxious to get out there and beat some of the top drag racers in the country.
I'll be there trying.
Here's Don Prudhomme, who has drawn a bye in the third round, but they make him run anyway. The life of one of these engines is only about 6 or 7 races, and so it would be a definite advantage if he was able to skip one round. So they make him run. He'll probably just start off very quickly and then cut the engine out to save it. So he's moving up. He's a cinch to win. He has no opponent. But they make him make a pretty good effort because he would not be using his engine, and he didn't. He got away pretty well there, and now probably will shut off. Yes, he is shutting off to save that engine, so his speed will be very, very slow, but he'll go into the semifinals, and he will meet Rick Stewart in the semifinals. The other semifinal has Bill Alexander against Connie Kalitta. And here it is, Connie Kalitta, whom we just talked to in this $10,000 dragster that is capable of producing 1,500 horsepower, racing against Wild Bill Alexander. Alexander on the far side, moving them into position. Kalitta waiting for those lights to start, eager to go, and Kalitta fouls. It's the second big favorite that has been eliminated through the foul procedure. He jumped the lights, in other words. He's well out in front, but he's a loser because he fouled on the start. So Bill Alexander will go in to the finals against the winner of the match between Don Prudhomme and Rick Stewart. And here it is, Rick Stewart moving up to the line, adjusting his goggles. You'll notice they have been wiping the tires. They put a fluid on those tires to make them soft so they'll get better traction. Also to clean the loose impediments off the tires. Don Prudhomme is ready on the far side. They release their brake and they're away in a cloud of smoke. And again, another foul. Rick Stewart has fouled against Don Prudhomme. And so Don Prudhomme is the winner at a speed of 204.08 miles per hour and will move into the finals against Wild Bill Alexander for Mr. Top Fuel Eliminator. And that should be a tremendous race, and we'll have it coming up in just a moment from Pomona, California.
When you think of the many things that can happen to you and your house, it staggers the imagination. Not only the damage from violent forces, but also hazards seen and unseen, like liability lawsuits and theft. Any of these disasters might ruin a family financially. It's happened in the past. It's happening today. It'll happen tomorrow. There should be a way to protect yourself, and there is. This Allstate homeowners policy protects you against loss from many hazards. It gives you fire insurance on the house, on most of its contents, comprehensive personal liability protection, and theft insurance. The cost is not high. In 9 out of 10 cases, this package of protection costs as little as $10 more a year than just ordinary fire insurance. See an Allstate agent. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Here's the big race of the day for Top Fuel Eliminator, the finals between Don Prudhomme and number 63, nearest us, from Granada Hills, California, against Wild Bill Alexander of Los Angeles, California, on the far side. This is the race the fans have been waiting for. The lights have started. When it flashes green, they'll go, and they both got off to a good start. Notice how they're burning rubber, getting away from that starting line. It's a very, very close race. Don Prudhomme apparently blowing his engine, but he flashed across the winner. Don Prudhomme of Granada Hills, California, top fuel eliminator with a speed of 201.34 miles per hour. His crew is going wild. They did not expect to win today. They were upset victors as Connie Coletta and Don Garlitz went out by the foul route, but Don Prudhomme came on with a tremendous run of 201.34 miles per hour. Now Don is getting out of his car. We're going to move down and get a few words with the biggest man in drag racing right now, Don Prudhomme. Don, I presume this is a dream come true.
Oh, boy, it's the greatest experience of my life.
How long have you been drag racing?
I've been drag racing now for about 6 years.
And this is your first Nationals victory?
That's right, that's right. This is the first one.
How did you feel you got off in that final run?
Well, I was a little bit worried for a while there about the halfway point because I saw his front wheels, but all of a sudden this thing just took over and passed him.
Did you have any trouble at the finish?
Well, we blew a little bit of oil, but besides that, there was no trouble. The car stopped fine, and everything was okay on the car.
When did that occur? At the finish or just before?
Yeah, that occurred right coming into the finish lights. We were going right around 199 at the time when that happened. When I come through, then we went through the lights, and I just didn't want to take my foot out of it at that time when we crossed the finish line.
I imagine you breathed a sigh of relief when that finish line popped.
Oh, boy, I should say.
Don, congratulations to you, and good luck in future races.
Thank you very much.
So a very happy Don Prudhomme takes home the big trophy from the Winter Nationals in 1965 from Pomona, California, and it's been a great day of drag racing for all the 80,000 spectators and the more than 500 drivers and the mechanics and crew chiefs. Many great races, and we certainly hope that you have enjoyed them this afternoon. There were a number of upsets. Big Daddy Garlitz, who had been the pre-race favorite, fouled out, and as a consequence, we have a brand new winner, one that has never won the national championship. And that's about the story from the Winter Nationals in